the Fishman Tondeq. This is a must for all acoustic guitar players who are looking to play live. Back when I was touring, it was always a pleasure to turn up early to the event or early to the place you were playing and meet the sound man and have a really nice half-hour sound check where he would get all your EQs matched to the room and at the end put a little bit of reverb on and this, that, the other. These days, there's a lot of festivals where people are playing small stages to the left and 18 acts on in a full day and this, that, the other, or open mic nights where people are trying to get on and off really quickly. And you just don't seem to have that luxury anymore of actually setting up with the sound man and getting the sound you want. So it kind of comes as your responsibility as the guitar player. And that's where this is brilliant, because this is pretty much a DI box, but it's a sophisticated one. It's a proper JFET amp in here, so it's a very high quality DI box, but it's also got a few little bells and whistles on it that are really, really useful. The whole point of this is to allow you to take control of your sound. So the preamp section is a no-brainer. It's Fishman, and they build some of the best preamps in the world, populate guitars all over the world. The EQ is a really good, strong EQ. It's tailored towards an acoustic guitar, not towards anything else. And the DI, as we said before, is a very, very clear analog circuit, an analog signal straight the way through. But then you've got a couple of other things that are really useful. At the top here, you have a compressor, and it's a really, really nice soft knee compressor. Again, it's not trying to be all things to all men. It wouldn't be much use on a snare drum, but it's been built purely for acoustic guitars, and it works beautifully. It's not aggressive, and it's not doesn't snap. It's just very, very, very soft, as I say. Very useful compressor. And then going this way along, we have some effects. And again, these are for acoustic guitars, so you're not going to find distortion on there. But what you will find on this one are a couple of really nice reverbs and really nice delays. The sort of things that you can rely on to give a warm, big, beautiful sound. There's no slap back sort of things for rockabilly or anything like that. These are made just for acoustic guitar. Here we have a chorus, which is a beautiful chorus. And again, it's made with acoustic guitar players in mind. And you have all the relevant controls here to deal with those sounds. And finally, you have a boost button here, and that's really useful if you do find yourself playing with other musicians on stage or in a jam situation, just to be able to have that lift when it comes to a solo or something is very, very helpful. A couple of other things on here. This is a phase switch, and people sometimes say, well, what do I want that for? And it's one of those things that until you realize you need it, you never really think about it much. But if you're ever on stage and you're playing and you've got a very bad feedback loop, the way feedback happens is it comes from your amplifier in cycles like this. And what the phase button does is it inverts that. And it might just be that the point at which you're feeding back, if you hit the phase button, it changes the signal and can cut the feedback out completely. So let's hear the Tonedeq in action. The first thing you spot down here at the right is a boost control, which does what it says on the tin. And there's a little setting here on the side where you can change it from, I think, plus 3 dB to about plus 9 dB. So you can control just exactly how high it jumps up. It's very useful if you're playing solos, or you just want to rise above the band. And above that is the EQ section. It's a Fishman EQ, so it's tailored towards acoustic instruments. It's very, very good. Also, just to the right of that is a low cut switch, which is great for getting rid of all that real low rumble stuff that usually takes away half the bass when you're trying to get shit of it. So it's a very useful switch. The EQ is very good, very powerful, but meant just for acoustics. Next we come to the effects sections, and the first one is the chorus effects. So chorus 1 is fairly subtle. It's more for sort of fattening up your tone, I think. Maybe give you a little bit of a, if not a 12-string effect, it certainly gives you that fattening sort of sound. Chorus 2 is a little more the sort of thing that I would use, because I'm a big Adrian Legg fan. So back in the day, Adrian used to have plenty of chorus on his sound. Next up there's a flanger, which is kind of subtle, but then again, you know, we're not electric players, we're not trying to cut people's heads off with the severity of our flange. It's a very nice, gentle sort of sound. And then finally there's a tremolo, which to be fair is pretty strong. It's not something I think I would use very much, but certainly it's there should you need it. Works quite well, I guess. And then from here over to the second bank of effects, which are reverbs and delays. So reverb 1 is fairly short reverb, room, and very nice, very usable, sort of thing that any decent producer would put on an acoustic guitar in the studio. Reverb 2 is a little more cavernous, big, expansive, cathedral type sound. And then delay 1, which is a fairly short delay. It's not exactly slapback, but it sort of it rounds your sound out again. So I don't think you'd find the edge from U2 getting a lot of use out of this particular setting, but it is subtle, it is for acoustic instruments. And then on to delay 2, which does actually have a bit of poke with it, and you could set all sorts of strange delay type effects with this. Next to it you can see a phase switch, which is very useful if you're on stage and you're trying to kill feedback. But that is the second of your effects. And then over here, a compressor, and this is a really good compressor. It's a soft D compressor. I'm always massively impressed with this. Just listen as we start hitting it harder. It's beautiful. It doesn't squash, it just does a great job of taming the transients at the top. You can see the green light changing from green to amber. It would go to red if you hit it too hard. It's just an indicator of how hard it's working. But you see, that's on full, and it's a really nice compression. The whole thing, as I say, is geared for live use for a guitar player. You could use it in the studio, and indeed I've recorded with it, and it's absolutely great. But it is fundamentally a live pedal. And as I say, I think in this day and age, if you're going out as an acoustic guitarist, it's kind of your responsibility to take care of your tone. And this is exactly what you need to help you do it.